This week's Seder, Pashas Tazriya. Normally Tazriya and Tzoiro are together. This week it's separately, Prizat Shono, Ma'uberes. This week in Pashas Tazriya talks about Tzeras. Tzeras is L'malim B'derech HaTeva. That's what the Rambam brings down. Sifona brings down the end of the Parsha. It's L'malim B'derech HaTeva. What does it tell us? What do we see by Tzerat? Tzerat is like a machala. It's like an illness. Someone has to stay at home. That's what's said at the end of the parasha. Bodod Yeshev. Bodod Yeshev. What does it mean? Bodod Yeshev b'chutz lamachaneh. He has to sit by himself. A person has to sit by himself. A person can be sad, tzibrochen. A person has to sit by himself. Let's say in the times of the corona, we know it. Person sit by himself. You mustn't have kesher with him. You can have kesher with him by phone. You can talk to him, but he can't go out. Why can't he go out? The Daskeni Balatoisis brings down because his machala is like medabeket. His machala is got chaydakim, germs. Anyone stands next to him, they can get the germs from his machala. That's all it's brought down. Bodod Yeshev. Why Bodod Yeshev? He spoke Lashon about Reuven. He spoke Lashon about Chayala, he spoke Lashon Hora about Leah, he spoke Lashon Hora about this person, Mr. Finkelstein and Mrs. Joseph, and they did this, and they did that, and they came and they went, v'chulu. He made a fight in the house of this and this person. Since that goes on, the Torah says, when he gets Saras, Bodod Yeshev Michutz Lamachaneh. Now, Bodod Yeshev Michutz Lamachaneh, it says also in the Pasuk. What does the Pasuk say? V'tomei yikro. Have a look. Pasuk Yud Gimel, Pasuk Memhei. Mashmiya shu tomei. He has to tell everyone he's tomei. Please, don't stand in my Dalet Amas. I am tomei. Why? Tzeras. And if he's careful. If he's not careful, his house can get tzeras. His beged can get tzeras. Like an illness, we don't understand it, this whole thing. But one nekuda we do see from here, Bodod Yeshev Michutz Lamachaneh, the Gemara brings down in Mesechus Shabbos Tav Samach Zayin Omad Aleph, what happens if someone has a tree which doesn't have peiros? The tree is a tree, like we see a couple doesn't have kids. A couple doesn't have kids. They walk in the street. And people from the street, they look down, they say, look at this couple, they're married so-and-so years, they don't have kids. This tree, the tree is a big tree, but the tree doesn't have any fruit at all. So what do? What does the Gemara say? The Gemara says, you paint the tree with a certain kind of tseva, a kind of paint, in order that everyone will look at the tree, and they see the tree, hey, why is this tree painted? The Gemara brings down, it's painted in order that people should see that this tree doesn't have fruit, and people will daven and they'll say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, help this tree to bring fruit, peiros, v'chulu. And the Gemara carries on saying, V'hu adim b'tzoira. Have a look in the Gemara Moed Kotan, Daf Hey Omad Aleph. Hu adim b'tzoira. Matoras hakriya. Why does it say in the Pasuk, Tomei Yikro, Kedei lo oires harabim, in order that the public should daven, sheyevakshu olav rachamim, sheyitrapei mitzaratoi, in order that people should say rachamim on this person, in order to get better from his machala. He's ill, like a guy's in bed, a guy who goes with one foot, a guy goes with a walking stick, or a guy hops away on his foot, something happened to him. A guy's got an ingrown toenail, a guy's got a bandage, a guy had an operation, a guy came out of surgery, and you see the guy walk slowly. So you ask him, Reb Shimon, what happened to you? Why going slowly? Normally you go fast. Haven't seen you in shul for a few days. You didn't come. We had last week Oifuf. There was last week a Brit Milah. Your cousin made a Brit Milah. Why didn't you arrive? Why didn't you come at all? So the person said, yes, he was not well, he didn't feel good. V'chulu. Why does he say it? In order that people should daven for him. And that's what it's written. In the Gemara says, Sorech lo idia la rabim, ורבים מבקשים עולוב רחמים. בודוד ישב מחוץ למחנה, ותומי תומי יקרא. People should say, poor boy, poor man, Mr. Joseph, Mr. So-and-so. He used to come to shul every day. The gabbai of the shul, our gabbai, he knows all the names of 250 people by heart. People realize he's missing. People think he went to Miami Beach. People think he went to Los Angeles. People think he went to Etzol for Yom Tov. But people realize that Yom Tov's over and this so-and-so doesn't come back to shul. What's going on with him? He's not well. Why? He's not well. What happened to him? He's not well. What's his name? Let's daven for his name. Moshe ben Rochel HaKohen. People daven for him. People have it in mind. Our Pashas HaShavua, Pashas Metzoira, talks about this inyan. Someone which had tzaras. Bodod Yeshev b'chutz lamachane. Why Bodod Yeshev? Bodod Yeshev for two reasons. One reason is he's Tomei and he can't go with other people. He has an illness which is he could catch other people. That's number one. Number two, Bodod Yeshev, he's separated husbands and wives. He's separated Reuven and Shimon. So HaKadosh told him, you have a punishment. We have to separate you also. From here you see a very big nukudah. From here you see there's a nukudah which says, Noise bo'oil im chaveroi. What does it mean, Noise bo'oil im chaveroi? You see your brother, you see your father, you see your sister, you see your cousin, you see your next door neighbor. Does something, goes through a hard time, minding your own business, it's very easy. It's also minor to mind your own business. But sometimes you see someone going through a hard time, you go up to him, Rabbi Yankel, you know, I see your head's down, you always used to smile, maybe I can help you. Maybe I can hear what's bothering you, let me hear. I want to listen, maybe I can help you, maybe I can't help you, but maybe I could help you, maybe I'll give you an eitzah. I want to help you, I want to be mechazik you, I want to tell you what to do. Tell me, the vote is, you speak over to someone else, and the other person, even though he can't help you, but at least you spoke over the problem to someone else. For this nukudah you could see, you see it's got to do with Chodesh Nisan. Chodesh Nisan, HaChodesh Hazeh Lechem, Rosh Chodoshim Rishonu Lechem L'Chodshei Hashono. HaChodesh Hazeh Lechem, Lechem is Oisiyos Melech. HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem Lamed Chof Mem is the same Oisiyos as Melech. Every single day in Chodesh Nisan we don't say Tachnun. Why don't we say Tachnun? Because HaChodesh Hazeh Lechem, the whole Chodesh has got a din of Rosh Chodesh, just like Rosh Chodesh today. We didn't say Tachnun. Also the same thing is over here, we don't say Tachnun. And that's the word, what we see the Nekudah is, Klo, about Chag HaPesach. Chag HaPesach is called Zman Cheiroseinu. Zman Cheiroseinu, you don't only think about yourself. Zman Cheiroseinu, you think about the neighbor. You think about the friends. You think about the brother-in-law. You think about him. You think about her. That people do not have. Even people do have money to make the Seder, but people sit alone. They're depressed. Maybe you lift up the phone, you invite them, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I know your kids went away from you, or the kids making their own Seder, you're sitting alone. Maybe we can invite you for Leila Seder. Maybe let's talk together, of all the Nisim, Dam Svadeh Kinim Oroiv, of the Nisim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu did to us. He took us out of Mitzrayim, and when people talk Yitzis Mitzrayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes down with Kol Pamalya Shamala, or Malachei Ashores, they sit by the table, and they listen to each person. How does he say the Nisim when he came out of Mitzrayim to be Meshabeach, Melech Malchei Amlochim? You don't think about only yourself. Pesach, you think about the other person. Pesach, you think about your neighbor. Pesach, you think about the guy across the road. Pesach, you think about people which have got nothing. They have money, but they have nothing. They're they're, for example, depressed. Bodod yeshev mechutz lamachane, a person is broken. You take him, Rosh Chodesh, HaChodesh hazeh lachem, Rosh Chodoshim, Rishonu lachem, lechodshei Hashono, Chodesh Nisan, haba aleinu letoivo. We are now Chodesh Nisan. We are coming on to Chag HaPesach. Chag HaPesach, Mimitzayim Galtonu. A person, Mimitzayim Galtonu, he doesn't only think about himself, he thinks about everyone. Mimitzrayim, he goes out of the Mitzorim, he goes out of his Golus, he goes out the matzav he's in, and he thinks about Yena. He thinks about the neighbor, he thinks about someone else. Mimitzrayim Galtonu. How do you think about the other person? Levakish olov rachamim. Some people cannot help the other person. The person is depressed. Some people are depressed. A lot of people are depressed. They have money, but their family doesn't talk to them, or they don't talk to them. They don't know what to do. Lift up the phone. Say hello to them. Be mechazik them. Be me'oided them. Be mechazik. Do something. Show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that you don't only think about yourself. We think about Yena. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees we're all going out of the Golus. How do we go out of the Golus? We're going together. Mimitzayim Galtonu, Umebeis Avonu Bedisonu. Each generation, even though what makes no difference where we live, but each person should go out of the Golus, of his Schwierigkeiten, of his hardship. Think about Yena. Bodod Yeshem Mechutz Lamachane, there's the Inyan to be Mechazekim. That's what we have to do. Just like there's the Inyan, Tzorch Lodio, Tzar Rabim. Also, Chag HaPesach, we have to think about Tsar of the other person. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees that we think about Yena. We only don't think about ourselves. Bodod Yeshev Mechutz Lamachane, Bodod Yeshev. What is it being down? The Rambam brings down, and in Tumas Saras, Das Keine Bale Toisvus, all the Meforshim bring down. Of course, he has to say everyone, he's told me, please don't come next to me. But please ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu that the illness should go away. That's Chag HaPesach. Kimcha Tepischa. Think about the other person. If you like my films with my Divrei Torah, please press on like in order lahagdil Torah or lahadira to be mefarsamit Bezat Hashem l'shem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So everyone Bezat Hashem to do tshuva shleima lavidus b'shamayim mi ka'amcha Yisrael goyecha ba'oretz. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so great, so big. Our Father is coming to us a Leila Seder to listen how every single person thinks and talks about the Nisim, Gluyim, which was on Chag HaPesach. And every year we go through it again, we feel it. Zman Chai Roseinu. When is it Zman Chai Roseinu? When you think about your friend. You don't only think about yourself. You think about your neighbor, you think about the guy across the road, think about the guy in a different country. You lift up the phone, you ask him, where are you for Leila Seder? Where are you for Chag HaPesach? Where? You have matzahs, you have wine, he has moi from here, Adodor Chadasha, he has moi from here until Los Angeles. Moroi, everyone has. But be mechazik him. Take away his burden, what he's carrying on his back. Lift him up. Ish es chaveiro yazoru, ulo ochiv yoimer chazak. That's Pashut Tazriya. The person's at Saras, don't lock up the door and say, that's where you are and I stay there until your death. No, be mechazik him. Be me'oided him. Lift him up. He's poor guy, he's got his moral is down. Lift him up, make him happy. Make him happy. Even a person with his illness, he can become happy. Like the Gemara brings down. The beginning of Rosh Hashanah, two people go on the bed. One goes down, one doesn't go down. Why? One has got emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help him. He'll take him out. He'll take us out. Hashem will take all of us out of the Golus. We'll be Zoicha, Bezat Hashem, to be Kabel, Pnei Mishach Tzidkenu, Midor Rachamim Chasodim, Gdoilim U'Merubim, Bimheiro V'Yomeinu, Omen V'Omen.